and his little son. On a farm near a jungle, there lived a cheerful donkey named Louis. He was different from the other donkeys in his herd. He was brave and always ready to help others. One day, while playing, the herd went far from their farm. Louis noticed a little lion cub crying in pain. There were thorns stuck in his paw. Louis called the other donkeys. "Come fast! There is a lonely lion cub here. We must help him." "Help him? The cub will grow up and eat us. Leave him alone," said Louis' brother, Philip. But Louis was kind. He tried hard and carefully removed the thorns from the cub's paw. The lion cub was happy after Louis had removed the thorns. He hugged Louis and said, "Thank you, Daddy." Louis replied, "No, poor cub. I am not your daddy. Your daddy will come soon. Stay here." When the donkeys began walking back towards their farm, the cub started following Louis. Philip said, "Louis, let's go. His family can come anytime." "No one is here, brother. How can I leave this little cub alone in the jungle? See how helpless he is." "I will stay here with the cub till his family returns," Louis declared. He made a cave-like structure and started living there with the cub. But even after 10 days, no one came to take the cub, so Louis brought the cub to his farm. Louis started raising the cub and named him Zozo. Soon, the naughty Zozo turned the farm into a messy and noisy place. There were broken windows, scattered fruits, spilled water, and running donkeys all around. But Louis was finding all of it to be very funny. One day, when the donkeys were playing around, Zozo caught Philip's tail and placed it between his teeth. Louis screamed, "No, Zozo! Leave his tail! Eat these carrots instead!" Zozo let out a breath of cold air and left the tail. Philip could see a clear danger in Zozo. One day, when Louis was sleeping, Philip took Zozo to the cliff to scare him. Zozo screamed for help. "Daddy!" It was enough to wake Louis up. Louis ran up to the cliff and shouted, "How dare you touch my son?" "Your son? Louis, what are you saying? You are putting all of us in danger," Philip replied. Louis picked up Zozo and warned the donkeys to stay away from Zozo. He placed a collar around the cub's neck that read, "Louis' son, do not touch." Louis taught Zozo many tricks. including the defensive back kick. Louis also gave him rides on his back. Zozo was enjoying his life a lot. The only thing Zozo did not like was eating grass. So Louis decided to arrange food for Zozo. He went to the nearby fox area where the foxes were eating their hunt. Louis changed the sound to a lion's roar. Hearing it, the foxes ran away. Louis wrapped their food in a banana leaf and served it to Zozo. After losing their meal for a few days, the foxes understood Louis' strategy. The next time, they charged towards the roaring sound. But Louis somehow managed to escape. With time, Zozo learned to enjoy eating grass as well. One evening, a roar scared the donkeys. Mother Lioness was right in front of them, looking for her cub. All the donkeys ran away. But Louis stood there with Zozo tightly wrapped in his arms. The lioness took the cub in her mouth and walked away. The entire herd was happy that they finally got rid of Zozo. After Zozo was gone, Louis lost interest in everything and used to be sad all the time. Louis was also troubled by the repeated attacks of the foxes. The foxes were angry with Louis for stealing their food and were constantly punishing the donkeys to avoid the danger of the foxes. The donkeys shifted their home to the deep jungle. Years passed, the herd expanded, and Louis got older. The deep jungle was a place full of surprises. The roar of tigers and lions, the bark of wild dogs were all frequent and frightening. Louis was tired of cautions and running for his life. Louis told his fellow donkeys, "I am too old to run now. When the next danger comes, please don't worry about me." Louis was sad and remembered his parents, his son, and the happy days of his life. One day, the foxes chased down their new home too and attacked the herd. All the donkeys ran away, but Louis did not move. "Do whatever you want to. I am not going to run," Louis told the foxes and closed his eyes. Suddenly, a mighty lion jumped out from the bushes and charged at the foxes, surprised and scared. All the foxes ran away, but Louis stayed calm. "Let it be a lion," then Louis said to himself. But when nothing happened, Louis opened his eyes. The lion was sitting right in front of him. When their eyes met, Louis jumped in joy. "My son!" Louis started crying with happiness. "Now that I have seen you, my dear, My wish is fulfilled. Zozo roared and jumped into the bushes. Zozo came back with a collar and tied it around Louie's neck. It read, Zozo's father, do not touch. Zozo then hugged Louie and said, I love you, Daddy. I hope you all found this book interesting. And if you found it nice, you have to read it to your father. And your father will feel happy too. And when my father gets old and I get old, I'm going to take care of my father because I love him so much. And you also do the same thing to your father. Okay? Stay tuned for our next video where I'm going to answer interesting questions about my father. So you'll get to know about my father. If you haven't subscribed yet, take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned. Take care. Bye-bye. Happy Father's Day week.